Diwali, let's revisit the story we have heard many times from our elders. Long ago, there was a great warrior prince called Ram. He was married to a beautiful princess called Sita. An evil king called Ravan lived in Lanka. He had 10 heads and 20 arms. Ravan wanted to make Sita his wife, so he kidnapped her and flew off with her in his chariot. Ram realized that Sita had been kidnapped, so he tried to look for her. He met the monkey god Hanuman in the forest. Hanuman agreed to look for Sita and eventually found her imprisoned on the island of Lanka in a beautiful garden. Hanuman gathered his monkey army and they prepared to battle Ravan. Ram and Hanuman began to battle Ravan. But it was such a huge battle that it seemed like Ravan would win. However, Ram produced a magical golden arrow and fired it at Ravan. With Ravan defeated, Ram and Sita were reunited. After an epic battle, Ram and Sita came back to Ayodhya and all the villagers welcomed them by lighting oil lamps outside their houses and showing their favorite prince the way back home. Thank you.
The return of Lord Rama to Ayodhya is perhaps the most popular and widespread belief. And while this is true, the return of Lord Rama to Ayodhya is certainly not the only reason why we celebrate Diwali. Diwali is primarily a celebration of wealth, and it is thus that Goddess Lakshmi finds herself in the midst of the narrative. Legends suggest that this is the day when Goddess Lakshmi was born out of the Samudra Manthan, or the great churning of the ocean. Samudra Manthan is a mythical event that finds mention in the Purans. The event refers to the churning of the ocean of milk by the gods and demons. It involved Mount Mandara, which served as the churning rod, and Vasuki, the king of serpents, who resides around Shiva's neck, served as the churning rope. Among the wondrous things that emerged from this churning was Goddess Lakshmi. It is believed that Goddess Lakshmi was emerged from the ocean on this day and was immediately married off to Lord Vishnu, and the wedding was celebrated with lighting of oil lamps.
According to the legend, Narakasura was the son of Bhudevi, the earth goddess, and Varaha, the third incarnation of Vishnu. However, over time, Narakasura turned evil and he began expanding his reign and capturing kingdom after kingdom. He then trained his gun towards the heaven and overthrew Indra, the king of the gods. To make matter worse, he stole the earrings of Aditi, the heavenly mother of gods, and usurped some of her territory and kidnapped 16,000 princes. The gods sought the help of Vishnu, since it was predicted that his incarnation would be responsible for killing Narakasura. Vishnu, the legend says, was born as Krishna, and eventually married with Satyabhama, who will be believed to be an incarnation of Bhudevi, the mother of Narakasura. Satyabhama was outraged at the ill treatment of the princess at the hand of Narakasura and urged her husband to wage a war against him. On the night before the new moon, Krishna killed Narakasur and freed 16,000 princes. This day celebrated as Narak Chaturdashi, since it is the event took place 14th day of the month. In Goa, large effigies of Narakasur are burned to commemorate the event. Thank you.
Diwali calls for us to keep our homes well decorated and lit up, and hence Diwali opens the whole market for cheap, non-durable festive decor items, especially with insanely low prices. We don't even think before we purchase it. It will look good at the front of the front door. It will glamour the coffee table. It's so cheap, so why not buy it and use it for decor even if it doesn't last? Most of us think it's a new trend to buy plastic decor items which may look attractive but ends being one or two times used product. Yes, after Diwali, most of these cheap decorations go right into the dustbin. And when it comes so cheap, the money don't bother us either. And that mindset is what we need to caution. Why not buy earthen diyas instead of cheap plastic diyas? Why not buy real flowers instead of fake ones? Let's try and answer these two questions before we buy Diwali decor. Will it last for a year to come? Can it be composted or recycled? If the answer for both is no, then I hope you would not consider purchasing these products. Just a bit of mindfulness can make a huge difference. Unlike olden days, when we would get new clothes, mostly for birthdays and one main festival, we now buy new clothes for every occasion, be it a small one or a big one. And clothes seem to have more of a disposable feel to it nowadays too. But we did constant purchasing of new clothes. Our wardrobes are already overflowing. And yet we complain that we don't have anything to wear for the festival. Instead of obsessing over lack of clothes, why not challenge yourself? Tell yourself that you are going to mix and match the clothes items that are already in your wardrobe and make it look chic and stylish too. It will make you start working with what you have. I do hope you reconsider once more.
Rangoli drawing can be exciting and a way to show your creativity for the festival. But why do we always indulge in getting the cheap chemical laden ones all the time? Yes, that you mostly find on the roadside for rupees 10 or so. They are so cheap because of the different cheap chemicals that are mixed to produce it. And those chemicals also do not easily wash away from our body. Why not opt for the eco-friendly colors you can get in the market these days? It might be double the price, but one thing I always say is not to be a cheapskate when it comes to do anything with your skin. If not, even opt for the kitchen. Ingredients you will have at home: rice powder for white, cardamom powder for green, turmeric for yellow, chili powder for red, and so on. There are always options to choose from the kitchen itself. So I request all the Rangoli artists to not get the cheap color powders anymore.
Richmond diyas have always been a part of our Indian tradition. Most houses would have it for all occasions until the market saw the rise of string lights. They became super popular in many homes, and due to its style, question rose over diyas even during Diwali. But with the string lights, you need to use electricity. And as negligible electricity used may seem large, it still is energy usage that we could easily cut off by going back to our traditional ways. The diyas also provide a livelihood to a lot of street vendors and artisans. So instead of heading over to a mall to purchase expensive diyas, just shop at your local roadside vendor and purchase from them, helping them have a brighter Diwali. The prettiness that diyas can bring to our house definitely cannot be replaced by string lights, for sure. So give a rest to your string lights and get yourself a desi diya.
Plan an eco-friendly dinner with Swiggy, Uber Eats and Zomato, taking over our lives. Festival dinner ends up being unhealthy outside food. This to happen 2 decades back? No, no way. The convenience has made most of us extra lazy that even we don't want to cook festive dinner for the family. May Diwali dinner could be one of those when the whole family tries to make some delicious dinner. No takeaways means no unnecessary plastic waste entering your home. Also means much hotter and healthier food on the table. Another thing to avoid is to be dependent on single-use plastic cutlery or plates for guests to use. Just use your own ceramic or steelware. If the guests are large in number, you have option for renting this usable tableware. Now what excuse do you have for ordering food home for Diwali? Thank you.
Firstly, do not feel obligated to gift others just because it's Diwali. Gifting people for every occasion is a huge waste in itself. But if you must, then try choosing the eco-friendly option over the conventional ones. Choose to send them some homemade mithai in glass or steel dabba that could even be returned later, or maybe some exclusive handmade soaps or some saplings or plant or so. If nothing, just plain cash. These would always be much superior gifting option than the conventional ones, which may just end up becoming unnecessary or useless to them. Instead, give them only after putting some thought into it too.
Firecrackers, the one thing that defines Diwali for most of us. I know. But is it worth keeping that tradition going if it's causing harm in a single day? Billions of people in India were lighting those crackers all over the nation on this single day. The damage done is almost irreversible. It takes weeks for the smog that lays low in the city to lighten up, and we've been seeing it for years now. The government themselves have been trying to introduce green crackers to reduce the damage caused. So, if you are intent to use crackers, at least select the ones that are less harmful. But I'd again appeal you to try and avoid buying crackers. It does not make Diwali less festive. Trust me, I've celebrated it for years now without crackers, and it isn't any lesser if it's absence. So let's pass on to the culture of a crackerless Diwali to the future generations.
The most awaited time of the year. Diwali is here. The very word Diwali conjures up the image of winking lights and flickering of diyas, not to forget the gorgeous array of sparkling colors emitted by the firecrackers that seem to awaken the night sky. The life of a student is about studying and about balancing it with celebration. To all the students, may you have a wonderful Diwali with friends and family. May the celebration of Diwali be the brightest this year and the blessings be the sweetest.